we are. Persia. I had to walk a little while to get an internet connection. So, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 24, 22, 23. 23 birds. Where's the 24th? Anyway, and I noticed my clock when I jumped on there is actually 3:33 when I started the stream. So it's I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to jump on here. I haven't been on in a while, like quite a while actually. And the reason is because I'm starting to understand that, well, when you jam good and evil all in one bag, well, things get interesting, right? How do you separate them? I'm dealing with people's free will, with a spirit that's, in like a cosmic dance with good and bad. And, well, you decide that it needs to self-destruct, and that's what you'll do. But I understand it at a much different level than, well, anybody that I can find. Obviously, if I could speak to somebody and show them what I know, I don't know. Well, there'd be two of us that would be going crazy at least. But I feel at this point in my life is I have woken up into a 2,000-year-old nightmare with a bunch of dumbasses that can't read a book. But I have to admit, as per my short span of time, that boy, that wind's got to be tough, huh? But like, as per my short span of time, I can't poke any holes at people for what they understand or don't understand about this book. But I see it in a much different way than other people do. Right now, I'm like at a different level than most people. Okay, that's how I'll put it. I am where I can understand exactly what they meant or how they felt. Well, I'd have to know what they meant and how they felt, but I know how they felt. In John of all things, and it's in John 6:66. He's he basically, none of his disciples follow him anymore. But one thing he says to them before they take off, he's like, well, what about you guys? Ain't you going to leave too? And they're like, well, where can we go? You have the words of life, right? And so that's where I'm at. It's like I found the words, but the dude ain't here. And so it's like I'm all by myself with, like, where the hell is Jesus? Where is he? He should be here because I can totally understand it. And that's where it is. So it's like, he is here. He's inside of each and every one of us. Trapped. That whole thing in the beginning where, and it says they weren't ashamed. Oh, wow. You have no idea how important that is to understand. But that's where I'm at. I get this at a level that can't be appreciated. And literally that's what it feels like. It feels like I've woken up, into something that should have been fixed and repaired 2,000 years ago. Oh, these guys are awesome, man. These freaking things are fast. Look at this one. That thing, they don't even put tags on it. It just has like stripes. When it gets going real fast, sparks and stuff fly off of it. It's crazy. I think it's a time machine, maybe. Oh, comments. Yeah. Should I subscribe? It's up to you. It don't matter. if I don't get the hours on the watch thing, if you haven't subscribed, then let me tell you what my channel is about. Um, well, it's about problems in the world. And I mean, what is at the root of our troubles and our problem, right? We need our God to show up. And it's funny because it's not funny. It's not funny enough. I don't know why we're waiting, I guess is what I'm saying. And I understand these scriptures now. Wow. I respect that those writings. Okay, I don't want to get into squabbles about who said them, who did them, whatever. Because what's creepy is when I study this book, I pay attention to. I'm kind of like Rain Man, you know. I can connect a lot of different dots, and so it's like I can associate a lot of different connections that most people would seem were kind of random, but it's like, I don't know. Somebody said my brain was plasticized or plasticity or something, where everything's just kind of, you know, all your thoughts are kind of in like a jelly, which isn't, it sounds bad, unless maybe you've been, you know, doing something you shouldn't be doing. But this is my beautiful little town. We have everything here. We got a bank. We have a library that's not open on the weekends though. Food pantry. People are cool in there. We have a ancient bank that now serves as the courthouse. And so it's got, you know, little beefed up security. But when you walk in, there's a giant vault, you know. It's huge. Man, it is big enough. If you know I'm in a movie, if you watch this channel, Die Cheerleader Die, I understand these things because I've been on a set and seen it. But it's like this one, wow, you could really shoot the beginning a good movie scene with it because it just looks like you could drive a truck into this thing. You know what I mean? You could do a small scale. It's a big courthouse, but that's Persia, so that's where I am. I'm the Prince of Persia, and I've seen our God face to face, and I'm an unclean man amongst unclean people, and I have unclean everything, and I'm doomed. I understand now what exactly those disciples meant when they said, "Where would we go? You have the words of life." And I'm telling you, the words of life are in that book. They're in there. We're fighting reality. We're fighting reality. I haven't been on here in a long time, so if I had to give you a quick rundown, I would say what you need to learn about is the word KNOW, which typically refers to, you know, I know. Well, in scripture, there's the first place you see it is he knew his wife and she conceived. Well, let me tell you about some heavenly things. That's, you know, if you know, hopefully you can understand earthly things at this point. If you're hooked into my channels, it's not for kids. Hopefully you know about the, you know, well, it used to be the birds and the bees. You know, now it's the hornets and the vultures. That's what it's like out there. But she conceived, right? Well, here's how heavenly works. Lady Wisdom. You know her, and then she has children. Those children are either good or bad. And those children If it's a good child, snatched away to heaven. Rules with an iron rod. And that just means doesn't bend the rules, no deviation, no partiality. Grace gets thrown out the window. Because, well, you want to know what's amazing about grace? Grace is partiality, and we're to be shown none. That's a fact. We are told we're shown no partiality. So grace then falls under the realm of partiality. So what do you do with it? Well, it's a good thing we have it, obviously. But in its purest sense, because sinning causes grace, Paul said it now. Paul said it. Should we sin more that grace abound? Is to say, well, where does grace come from? It's created every time you sin. So that means every time you screw up, you get a mulligan. Hopefully it wasn't so bad. And you keep going. And that's how our God calls the difference between sheep and goats. Okay? Sheep are following the staff. Hey, I don't know about you, but I was in the Marine Corps, and there's nothing like a good set of rules to keep you in line and make things happen. All right? We were able to do amazing shit with very few people because everybody did exactly what they were supposed to do. But there were rules. You know? If I'm running into battle and I'm told, hey, we want you to run at that, but don't go past that tree in your line of sight. It's like buoys almost. You run down that thing, and then guess what happens? You got people behind you, and they are literally pew, 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 pew. Bullets are flying past you on the left and the right. But the machine gunners know they're on the other side of the tree. Hey, don't shoot past that tree. Hopefully your own guy don't chop you up. Could happen. But then guess what? You're running in a hail of bullets on your side. And I guess that's where you get a set of stones and you understand that, hey, that's where some people are running out of fire. Some people are running in. God damn it, our world's on fire. I can do something about it. But I can't do anything about it. The only thing I can do is, it's like a Neo thing, I understand this matrix. And oh my God, I couldn't believe it. Now, I believe in God, right? So things happen, right? Weird people show up. Hi. That's an interesting bicycle. Is it electric? Everybody's got them now. How fast? No kidding. Well, you can probably assist in. I barely You know what? I think that everything was made with a purpose and whatever, and I think the point of it working the other way is if it came to an emergency, at least you'd have it. It wouldn't be disabled, right? Then you can suffer. But like in the Marine Corps, that's what we would say, right? The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. And there's nothing more amazing than what you can do with a whole crew of people all stacked up together and all working on the same thing. But that's what is wrecking us, where it says that somebody will come with a great sword. You too. Somebody will come with a great sword and take peace from the earth. Yeah. What do you think the greatest sword that there is? It's the scriptures. Has it taken peace from the earth? I don't know. Whatever you're on, if you transcended reality to that level, I don't know. Can you ship some to me? I'll give you my address, man, because that would be just really great. Whew. I mean, everything. It's like, woo, the prophecies are true. The prophecies are true. And it's like, idiot, they can be filled from the other side as well. We don't have to suffer in this thing as we do. And there you go. So I just wanted to jump on here and, just say a few words that's why you haven't seen me. Yeah. it's tough. It's like watching a bunch of little kids ruin themselves and you can't do anything about it. You know, there's nothing you can do to explain or convince. Nothing. It's like any theologian would be a lesson. You know, that really gave a shit. Because I know what's going to happen. This is going to turn into like, I'm either going to, you know, people are going to look at me like, you know, wow, where did he get this secret knowledge? All I can tell you is that the only way you're ever going to discover it, unless, you know, you want to dig through all my stuff and try and figure it out, is you just got to reduce yourself to don't count. You know, you're just a grain of sand in a very, very big thing. You got to, you know, with fear and trembling, consider your every move, right? Should I do this, say that, you know, to somebody? You know, I'm a comical guy, and I like to just, you know, comedy to me, I like explosive, right? Because that's how I was trained as a little kid, you know? People jumping in your face. Some kids laugh and other kids start screaming, you know? And, you know, but imagine that, you know, just some random guy on the street and I see him walking with his kid or something, and, you know, I think I'm going to be funny, and then I go, you know, screaming out, you know, something, you know, he's loose, you know, and then find out that the kid is like, he really is loose, right? I don't know. And then I wind up encouraging this kid to run away as the parent is like out of breath trying to actually catch up to the kid or something. I don't know. But it's like anything you say and do seems to be very touchy. And it's not only that way with in the world, but that's the message that God needs sent. And so it's strange. The message will still come through, but it comes through either as a, hey, it's a good thing, or hey, it's an oppressive force, right? Same chain, same situation. It's just, if it's attributed to God, oh, forget about it. Nobody wants to hear about that. You know, when we walk around in this place, we got to realize we're nothing but temples, right? What is inside of me, and, you know, and I've found this out. I've been going to a few soup kitchens and dinners and things around here lately. It's getting tight. But I went to a Catholic church, and there was a lady there. Her name was Helen, and her husband's name was Peter. But she could understand what I was saying, and she, you know, and she goes, in we live and move and have our being, and it's like, of course, everybody does. It's just that some people have the Christ side showing, and some people have the Antichrist side showing. But imagine that you are literally witnessing our God all packed into one unit, and you're either seeing the front of them or the behind of them. Like as if to look at a coin. And that's what our free will is. And if you don't think that's possible to put God all in one pile like that, then all you got to do is go read Isaiah 45:7, and that'll straighten you out really quick. Because it says, I form light and I create darkness. I make peace and I create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. And that translation into English, Lord, is not, you know, the lower class ones. We're talking about the name, okay? 26 stamps. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, he does it all. So it's like we're kind of like puppets against each other. When it says the wicked are reserved for the day of judgment, the people that don't know what's going on, they're like thinking, well, you know, you're going to get it someday. And it's like, no, the wicked are the judgment. If you're wicked, then you're judged. And so it turns into a very tricky battle. How do you fight something that you can't fight with? Well, Jesus knew what he was talking about. He surely did. Feed your enemy, pray for your enemy, clothe your enemy. You got to get it together. And so what happens is we're going to go through a time where we're going to get squashed. Everything, economy, everything. Because the more that you don't collaborate, the more you're going to suffer. So let me tell you what I've learned about living on the streets here, okay? Number one, it costs money to have an oven running in my house, right? If I want a pizza, though, I got to go to this place and they're going to charge me $20. But guess what? I hook up with 4 other people and we each throw in 5 and we get 2 slices, which is actually $2.50 is, a slice. Well, that's quite a bit of difference, right? So your money goes a little further. You pack it all together with your friends. We're going to get taught that, whether we want to or not. .46 blazing degrees.